I'm not sure if anyone's going to tune in today because I haven't made any announcements on Twitter, but I've got 10 minutes, 15 minutes before dinner time, and I wanted to make a video. I wanted to come in here and polish off this skeleton guy. In fact, I'm going to treat him like a draft layer, because he was a bit of a rush job. Not very happy with the level of detail nor the pose, so I'm gonna play around with him. We kind of drew him during our how I draw a token video, so he served his purpose for that, but if he wants to stay on the team, it's going to have to be a little more refined. So I've got my brush all set up today, and let's just jump straight in. So we got our drafting layer, and now you're going to see me get precious with my line art and fuss over lines at least for 10 minutes, and at the end of, well, when I get called away for dinner, wherever we are, I'll end the video there, and hopefully I'll have already shown all there is to show. So my method for putting down final lines, it's a mix between being precious, trying to get the angle just right, Control Z line, Control Z line, Control Z line, and coming back over with the eraser to work in little shapes, fun little shapes, because you don't want everything to be obviously drawn with the pen. You want to come back and cut away a bit here and there and just really vary up the shapes in the lines. That's not anything except a line. Oh, we're back trying face cam again today. Hello. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to keep our derpy starfish. You know what I also need? Let's just move you over here so we can use you as a reference for line thickness, because I want everything to be uniform. So you can see this guy's got some really thick lines on him. So usually I default to a very moderate line weight, but then I'll come back over with like a second pass and add a bunch of shadows, just fill in shadow blocks and thicken up like the silhouette lines. Hello, viewer number one. And that's the step when we add a bunch more thickness. But the structural lines are pretty much this weight on the arms and on the top of the hat, and then where shadows fall, that's where I'll throw some extra line thickness in. So for now, just so long as my brush is spitting out structural line width, we're okay. Hey, Benster Graphy from Germany, huh? That's cool. I hope the weather's nice over there. It's pretty cold here. And thanks for supporting me on Patreon. It means a lot. It does, really. It's what makes these streams possible, because I would not have the time otherwise. And of course, all the tokens and maps too. The stream's just a nice little bonus. So thanks for tuning in as we polish up our kelp-clothed skeleton. Kind of a sunken pirate, I guess. Cursed pirate. A little bit cliche in this day and age, I guess, but in high demand, I think. I certainly enjoy cursed pirate themes. Maybe not cliche at all. I just play a lot of Total War Warhammer, and one of their recent DLC was big undead pirate pack. And then, of course, Pirates of the Caribbean come to mind. So there's lots of undead pirates going around. So I'm happy to contribute. Let's get a more three-dimensional shape into his jawbone. Something like this. Is that a fang? You don't need a fang, mister. I have to be very kind with this stylus if I want decent, if I want fine details right now. Okay, let me try and say something useful, since I am making this video with the intention of it going on YouTube. That's okay. We just have a bunch of ragged clothes on this side, ending with our hook hand. Like so. More of a hook. Yeah, that's good. He's got quite a basic pose, doesn't he? Oh, you know, I made this by accident, but when I moved the draft layer around, I created this bit jutting out. And I think, since this is our undead skeleton arm bone, that's going to be a bone sticking out, and perhaps we'll go for the cliche bone shape. You got to work with cliches at this scale, just so it's communicated well. It's not really cliche. I think that's just my word of the day. I seem to be saying a lot. And then a bit of a shirt arm over here. We'll just have a bit of a ragged edge to that one, not quite as ragged as this end. And then all these bones here held together by like a binding. How about that? Still got some line weight to fiddle with, but I'm liking his upper body pose. It looks proportional to the naked eye. Perhaps we can do something more undead with his upper half, with his tunic. Just throw in a rib, perhaps, like that. And then in the color, we'll make a bone color. We'll work with that for now. Maybe he needs, maybe this is stitched on. Yeah, it looks okay right now. I like this line. Yeah, so you can see certain lines especially, I'll be very liberal with my undo key until I get it just right. Other lines are not so important, or I've just practiced them enough that I can get them first try. But I enjoy this stage because I get to be pedantic and really get the lines right. It's a fun step, getting everything right. And come to think of it, I need more of a round perspective on these pants. Something like this. This side is all right. And then do I want to go for the one boot and one skeletal bottom, or perhaps a peg leg? Because we do have another skeleton with a peg leg. Where is he? Where are you hiding? This guy. But he's got enough going on with the kelp cloak that I think we can take his peg leg away. Was it that guy? No, it was this guy. My apologies. This guy's got enough going on with the eye patch, or should he get the peg leg? It's a bit... I kind of, come to think of it, I kind of want two skeletal feet on this one. And then a claw, I think I'm going to go for this kind of style claw. Just let the the one finger kind of communicate claw rather than get too finicky. It's a bit big, isn't it? Maybe you should have got a longer prosthetic for this arm. But I'm just saying these two arms here don't look proportional to each other. So up here. Oh, that looks menacing, doesn't it? Yeah, right about there. I like it. It kind of looks mid-saunter. Mid-step forward, kind of. What does an ankle bone look like? Is my stream paused? No. It looked paused to me for a second there. I hope it's doing okay, because it's worked fine up until today. And then his little feet will end in... That kind of looks like a skeleton, especially if we drag these lines up more. I'm happy to see that I can get 3 viewers without selling myself on Twitter every time. Does that speak skeleton foot? Perhaps we do need some ankle bone mess. What does an ankle bone look like? Perhaps just 2 leg bones ending in a heel? No. Or these bones stretch all the way up to the ankle, don't they? Anatomy is not my specialty. That looks like a skeletal foot to me. And perhaps if we just put those in. It's a little bit cluttered, but it does the trick. And then on this side, do we want a boot or a skeleton foot? We can draw a boot easily enough and see how we feel about it. Because I do like asymmetry, especially in undead. And other monstrous or chaotic things. This guy's very symmetrical because I imagine him as like a lawful cleric slash, I don't know, some kind of lawful character. The pose and the symmetry kind of speaks lawful, whereas a more chaotic race slash creature, you can kind of communicate that with some asymmetry. But now that I say that, I guess skeletons tend to come from like lawful evil necromancers, or am I just imagining that? Am I just pulling that out of thin air? Not sure, uncertain. Still working on my stream rambling, so excuse me if I don't have anything interesting to say yet. Oh, and things useful to YouTube that I can say. So, speaking again to the feet, I don't like to clutter the tokens with too much detail. But because he's a skeleton, and because skeletal feet are detail-filled things, I think it's appropriate. Just use it sparingly. Don't clutter the entire thing up. With any piece of artwork, you want places for the eyes to frolic and places for the eyes to rest. So he's got kind of lots of space up here and on his shirt to rest. And he's got spaces for the eye to meander and enjoy the details. Kind of just looks like a glove here, doesn't it? Oh well. So I think he's getting along, which is good because I can smell some delicious dinner being made. You can probably hear every last detail of it. So I'm just going to get a little pedantic with him, try out some new lines. We can get rid of his draft layer now. Maybe play around with his expression. Or maybe I should just end the stream as the cooking kind of starts to dominate my voice. Hey yo, Lawrence VDM, thanks for tuning in. It's not going to be a long stream today. Literally just making a quick YouTube video / Twitch highlight while I wait for dinner to be made. So we're just trying to get this guy as right as possible as can be. Or perhaps I could spend some time showing you off what I spent all day today drawing. There's a bunch of fun stuff down lower on the canvas, but I should hit the save button once in a while. There's our hot tip. I'm definitely a professional. Okay, I like the kind of balance we have going on here. What's the real artist terminology for that? I like the... beats me. I'm just keeping my mouth moving, I guess. But I do want some more shadowy areas, so let's get frisky with our black pen. And we need some thicker lines. We need to vary up his silhouette lines, his outer lines. And the starfish could also use some work, some more work. So I've spent all day basically warming up for this drawing. That's why this one's gone so right. But usually I spend a lot more time getting lines right. And that's why my tokens take so long to put out. But it's worth it in the end. It's got kind of a lump in his skull. Yeah, I think we've messed around with this guy a bit too long. If you're all from the future watching this as a YouTube video, then today's lesson is over, but please feel free to stick around and check out a little preview of what else I've been working on. Just as soon as I get this sleeve right. You can see me working with the pen and the eraser in tandem. Okay, that'll do. Let's save him. And just until I'm called away, I'll show you around the canvas. So, I'll start down here. I've thickened up the lines on the eel we drew last stream. Just cleaned him up, changed the scale a bit. He's a bit bigger now. And just thickened it up so that it looks like a set with the rest of my tokens. We've also done the same thing for our Mr. Hammerhead. He's been completely cleaned up, basically brought up from the drafting stage to a finished token stage. He now has a brother, the great white shark over here. Took a long time to get the shape just right, and I'm not sure that sharks' tails are so flexible as this, but it works okay as a token. I guess he's a fantasy shark with fantasy bones. Oh, we have an exciting aboleth. My take on an aboleth anyway. It's pretty close to the 5e reference material, but I've kind of put like a fighter fish kind of frilly bits on him, which I like. It kind of gives him a celestial look. Maybe it's a celestial flavored aboleth. But yeah, a little bit otherworldly, and I really like the shape going over here, and the fin is a little bit like an eel too, but he's got a dorsal fin too, and these fins probably don't make sense, but he propels himself with psychic energy. He doesn't need much more. Let's save that guy for last. We got here a four-armed Sahuagin. I saw a sweet reference image on D&D Beyond, and I thought, I'm going to draw that. That's nice. Really been working on the Sahuagin foot style. And also his face is much more classic. Got here, I think it's a chul, is that how it's pronounced? Big crab claws, tentacle beard, alien eyes, and like a lobster carapace. Oh, this one's a fun one. I really like the pose that came out on our sea hag here. She's got an enormous nose and hair so long that it's her clothes too. And she's got some fins on her elbows and a sick little squat going. Yeah, I really like how she turned out. And I really like how the chul turned out. Here's a bit of a teaser for our major fella. It's a big sea beast kraken creature. Not so much the 5e kraken, which has almost a reptilian head, but I just wanted to keep it mostly underwater so that you can work it into whatever setting you have. It's basically a mouth of terror with a bunch of tentacles coming out and back underwater and resurfacing. And the idea is you can use these tentacles to grasp over the deck of your ship, or this one, like perhaps, let me zoom out a teeny bit, perhaps this one will lash out onto the ship's deck, grab a player, and then retreat back over the water, and you can stick your player in here. And this one can do the same thing, or you can have your players hack at that. But anyway, we've got a bunch of tentacle arm tokens, and we have the main attraction right here. And then I still got to tidy up this guy, and our sharkmen need a bit of work. But we're finally closing in on the line art being done, so next stream, probably, unless I stream some more line art refinement, the next stream will be me coloring, which will be a fun change after so much line art. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks if you're watching on YouTube. I hope you learnt something from this, and I hope it wasn't too long. We're at 22 minutes, so it was a bit long. My apologies, but yeah, thanks. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments. Please remember to subscribe and like if you enjoyed it. And I'm gonna go have dinner. Goodbye.